Naruto woke up from fainting to find all his friends injured around him. Sakura told him, "Everyone here helped us to defeat Orochimaru." Then she turned to Lee and said, "Thank you so much for helping me become stronger. The moment I saw you get hurt, I was able to gather my strength." Sasuke was very surprised and said, "How did he lose to them? These ninjas were incredibly strong." At the same time, Hinata's team was walking through the forest. As soon as they sensed people nearby, they stopped in their tracks. Hinata used her Byakugan ability and was able to see Gaara from afar. Shino said, "There are about 6 people over there," to which Kiba replied, "Let's go see what's happening there. We've already collected our scrolls, but if we take more scrolls, it means more teams will lose." They moved in that direction, but as they got closer, Akamaru became extremely scared and hid with Kiba. Kiba said, "Akamaru is very sensitive to chakra, but this is the first time I've seen him so terrified by someone's strength. These people are not ordinary at all." There, Gaara and his teammates were facing another team. Kiba and his group stood by, watching the fight. They overheard Kankuro saying to Gaara, "First, we need to know what kind of scroll they have. If it's the same type as ours, there's no point in fighting." But Gaara replied, "No. Anyone who looks into my eyes must die." The other team attacked Gaara, but he easily blocked their attack using a sand shield. Kankuro explained, "Gaara uses the sand from the gourd on his back, and he can shape it any way he wants to protect himself from all attacks. Whether he wills it or not, the sand moves on its own to shield him. None of you can ever defeat Gaara." Gaara used his power to trap one of them in sand, then lifted him into the air and crushed his body inside it. The other 2 members of the team dropped their scroll on the ground and tried to run, but before they could move, Gaara used the same technique on them, killing them both. Kankuro picked up the scroll from the ground. Meanwhile, Kiba and his team ran away immediately after witnessing the fight, but Gaara noticed their presence. Kankuro said to Gaara, "Stop fighting for now. We don't need more than this scroll." Gaara replied, "I know you're my older brother, but if you stand in my way, I will kill you." Then he left the area, and Kiba's team managed to escape quickly. By late at night, they headed straight to the tower. There was no one else there except them. As they looked around, they saw Gaara and his team arriving. Kiba thought to himself, "I don't know who this person is, but just looking at him terrifies me." At the same time, news reached Anko that Gaara and his team had completed the test. She looked at them and found out that they finished the test in less than an hour and without even a single scratch. After 4 days had passed, Naruto and the team were sitting and eating. Sasuke told them, "We have only about 25 hours left until the end of the test, and most of the teams have already finished. There are only a few left now." Sakura said, "Maybe the remaining teams don't have the scroll we need. Orochimaru burned our scroll at the beginning, which means 1 extra team will fail this test." Sasuke replied, "We need to speed up and try to find anyone, because the last team we meet will determine whether we pass this test or not." He left them to go find some water to drink. Meanwhile, Naruto said to Sakura, "I have a lot of scrolls. What do you think about opening the one we have to see what's inside? We can try to guess the contents of the other scroll, which should be similar, and write the same words on it. This way we'll pass. The proctors won't even notice, since Orochimaru burned one of them." Just as he was about to open the scroll, Kabuto stopped him. When Sasuke saw this, he rushed over to them. Kabuto said, "It's good you didn't open it. In the last exam, anyone who opened the scroll fell asleep for a long time until the test ended, and they couldn't retake the test again." Sasuke asked, "Why did you come here? I don't think you're trying to steal our scroll, because if that was your intention, you would have taken it from Naruto earlier." Kabuto replied, "I've already collected both of my scrolls, and I'm heading to my team at the tower now." He turned to leave, but Sasuke stopped him, saying, "Wait, fight me now. We need one of the scrolls you have, and I don't know if we'll be able to meet anyone else with the same scroll." Kabuto responded, "It's better that you don't fight me now, because there are people watching us here. Come with me toward the tower. All the teams are heading there, and you'll find the scroll you're looking for." So they all set off with Kabuto toward the tower. Kabuto told them, "Be very careful there, because many people are thinking the same way you are. You'll find traps set up around the area, and there are also many people trying to sabotage the test for others to make it easier for themselves in the later stages of the exams." Sasuke replied, "Now I understand why you want us to come with you to the tower. The truth is, you're scared to go there alone." Kabuto said, "Yes." By the end of the day, they all arrived there and saw dead ninjas ahead, killed by traps. When Naruto tried to move forward, he tripped over a rope on the ground. Kabuto caught him before he got injured and quickly used the substitution technique. He told Naruto, "Be careful with your movements from now on. We're very close to the tower." Sakura said, "We've been walking for a long time, and we still haven't gotten any closer to the tower." Kabuto replied, "It's clear that we're trapped in a genjutsu, moving in circles." Suddenly, a large number of clones appeared around them and began surrounding them. Naruto tried to attack one of them, but suddenly it turned into liquid, and another head appeared on the same body. Sasuke used the Sharingan Sharingan to block the attack, but the enemy threw a kunai at Sasuke. Suddenly, Sasuke's body froze, unable to move, and Kabuto barely managed to save him. Sasuke said, "What's happening to my body?" Orochimaru's curse mark started to activate. Kabuto said, "These clones aren't just ordinary clones. They're very real people. This might also be an illusion." Naruto tried to attack them again, but Sasuke stopped him, saying, "They're just illusions. The real body must be hiding somewhere close by and attacking us using the same movements as its clones." Kabuto said, "All we can do now is dodge their attacks." They began evading the attacks, and Naruto used the shadow clone jutsu, saying, "I'll attack all of them at the same time." He started taking them down one by one. Everyone joined in to help him, and they kept at it until sunrise, exhausted. The person controlling the technique said, "I guess now is the time for us to attack." 3 figures appeared in the forest. Their leader said to Sasuke, "You injured my shoulder before. Now, I'll get my revenge on you." He looked up and saw all 4 of them laughing before they all transformed into Naruto clones. Naruto said, "I've been copying their forms all night and attacking with them until you showed yourselves." Sasuke told Naruto, "You've used up a lot of energy. Rest, and I'll take care of the rest." But Naruto rushed in to fight them, saying, "This is the fun part of fighting." Sasuke was shocked and thought, since when did Naruto have all this power? Even Kabuto was surprised by Naruto's immense strength. They then saw the enemy create a large number of clones. Naruto charged to attack them, but when Sasuke tried to use the Sharingan, he felt intense pain in the area of Orochimaru's curse mark. Sasuke said, "I don't know what's happening to me. I haven't used much of my energy." He tried to gather his strength to use it again, but collapsed from the pain as the mark glowed once more. He stood up and told Naruto, "The real body isn't among them." Suddenly, the real enemies emerged from underground and attacked Kabuto, but Naruto struck them and managed to defeat them. Naruto searched for the scroll they had, and it turned out to be the missing scroll they needed. They all headed to the tower. There, Kabuto reunited with his team, and each team entered their designated gate. Kabuto entered with his team and said, "I've gathered all their data." Orochimaru stood in front of him and handed him a paper containing information about Sasuke. Orochimaru asked, "Since you're a spy for the Village of Sound, what do you think of him?" Kabuto replied, "My opinion doesn't matter. You'll be the one to decide in the end." Meanwhile, Naruto came across a large plaque in the area. Written on it were instructions to open both scrolls simultaneously. As soon as they opened the 2 scrolls together, thick smoke emerged, and Sensei appeared in front of them. He said, "Looks like you all worked hard to make it here. Congratulations, you've passed the 2nd exam. I'll treat you to some ramen after the test." Sasuke asked, "What would have happened if we had opened the scrolls during the test?" Irika replied, "We had orders that anyone who broke the rules would be put to sleep until the end of the exam." He then began explaining the meaning of the plaque on the wall and added, "I'll give you a piece of advice. Don't be reckless in the 3rd exam, especially you, Naruto. I'm worried about you." Naruto replied, "Don't worry about me. You're the one who gave me the headband I'm wearing, which means I'm not a kid anymore. Now, I'm a real ninja." Irika remembered Kakashi's words about them and thought, it's clear that Kakashi knows more about them than I do. Meanwhile, Anko was in the Hokage's office, recounting everything that had happened. One of the aides said, "I know Orochimaru is one of the legends of the Leaf Village. He's extremely powerful, and no one has been able to deal with him. But what could have brought him back to the village after he fled?" The Hokage replied, "It must be because of Sasuke." They looked at the screen in front of them, where the proctor of the exam informed them that the 2nd stage of the exam had concluded. The Hokage said, "We need to continue the exam, but at the same time, we must figure out what he's planning." The Hokage gathered all the teams that passed the exam. There were 7 teams that had succeeded, and all the main teams were among them. The Hokage said, "Now we will begin the 3rd stage of the exam. It will be like a small war between the ninja nations. The Kage of the different villages and important dignitaries from various countries will attend the test. For the village that proves its strength, job opportunities will increase significantly. Conversely, weak villages will lose their standing. This exam will be a life or death battle for your dream and the honor of your village." A man named Hayate Gecko appeared in front of them and said, "I'll be the one to explain the details to you." He turned around and said, "Before we start the 3rd exam, you will first participate in preliminary matches because we need to reduce your numbers before the main test. As the Hokage mentioned, many guests will be attending, so we can't conduct too many matches then. If anyone wishes to withdraw, speak up now because the matches are about to start, and they will be one-on-one battles." Suddenly, Sasuke felt a sharp pain in his neck. Sakura said to him, "It's better for you to withdraw. Ever since you encountered Orochimaru, you've been acting strange." She remembered what happened when Sasuke first woke up and started crying. Naruto was shocked, not knowing anything about the mark on Sasuke's neck. The Hokage sensed Sasuke's pain, and Anko said. We need to isolate him immediately from the exam and keep him under observation until we understand the mark on his neck and whether he can handle it. Kakashi replied, he won't listen easily. He's an Uchiha. Anko responded, even if we have to use force, we must. The cursed seal activates whenever he uses his chakra. Yet despite that, he's incredibly strong. Anyone else in his place would have died instantly. At the same time, Kabuto raised his hand to withdraw, saying to Naruto, I'm really exhausted right now and can't fight, especially if it's a life or death battle. The Hokage said, I remember that guy. He also withdrew during the main exam last year. I wonder what he's planning. Anko added, based on my information, he's failed the exam 6 times before, and there's nothing remarkable in his record. However, before joining the academy here, he was a child from another village whose parents died in battle. Meanwhile, Kabuto's teammates asked him, why are you acting on your own? Did you forget Lord Orochimaru's orders? Kabuto replied, I'll leave the rest of the mission to you, especially you, Yoroi. This is your chance to prove your strength to Lord Orochimaru. Then he walked away. He thought to himself, I wish I could keep playing with them, but if I spend more time here, my true identity as Lord Orochimaru's spy might be exposed. My mission to gather information is now complete. Hey Gecko then asked, does anyone else want to withdraw? Sakura started to raise her hand to report Sasuke's condition, but Sasuke grabbed her hand and said, don't say a word. I have to take this exam now. Sakura started crying and said, I'm sure you're in constant pain because of it. He replied, it's none of your business. Stop interfering in my life. I told you before, I'm an avenger. I don't care about becoming a chunin, but I need to grow stronger. Here, I can fight powerful opponents, and I won't let you stand in my way. Then, he turned to Naruto and said, I also want to fight you because your power has grown significantly recently. At the same time, the Hokage told Anko, we'll leave the exam as it is. If Sasuke's seal activates, stop him immediately. Hayate then said, now we'll begin the exam. The winner will qualify for the 3rd test. There are no rules. It's a one-on-one battle until death or surrender. If I order you to stop the match, you must stop immediately to avoid unnecessary deaths. Behind him, a board lit up showing the names of the contestants randomly. He announced the first match, which was between Yoroi and Sasuke. Both stepped forward to start the match, and everyone was excited to see Sasuke's strength. The rest of the group went up to the viewing area to watch the fight. Kakashi approached Sasuke and said, don't use the Sharingan. I know everything that happened to you, and if you can't control the power of the cursed seal, you might die easily. Sasuke replied, I expected you'd say that, and I wasn't planning on using it. Kakashi added, if anything happens, I'll cancel the match and stop you immediately. Sasuke thought, it's clear that this seal reacts to my chakra. If I try to use my power, the seal will take over. That means I have to fight using only my true strength. Orochimaru, disguised among the spectators, watched Sasuke intently. The battle began, and when Sasuke tried to block Yoroi's attack, he fell to the ground. However, he managed to pull Yoroi down with him. Yoroi then grabbed Sasuke's head, drained his chakra, and rendered him unable to move. Sasuke's energy began to deplete, and Orochimaru remarked, Yoroi is the perfect opponent for Sasuke right now. Once he drains all his chakra, Sasuke will be forced to rely on my curse mark. That's when I'll see his true endurance. But Sasuke mustered his strength, striking Yoroi and sending him flying. However, Yoroi quickly attacked again, forcing Sasuke to dodge his attacks. Sasuke was visibly weak, and everyone watching was puzzled by his diminished strength. Sasuke glanced at Naruto, who was calling out to him, then noticed Lee standing next to him. Inspired, Sasuke began evading Yoroi's attacks and countered using Lee's fighting style. But just as he gained the upper hand, Orochimaru's curse mark activated, causing Sasuke intense pain as the marking spread across his body. He managed to control it with great difficulty, ultimately landing a powerful blow that slammed Yoroi into the ground. Sasuke won his first preliminary battle, though he was utterly exhausted. Kakashi appeared behind him and said, you did well. That move you used was Gai-sensei's technique. Gai-sensei, watching from the sidelines, commented, how did he master that move after seeing it only once? Everyone was impressed by Sasuke's strength, but also fearful of facing him. Orochimaru, meanwhile, was thrilled at the prospect of taking control of Sasuke's body. The medical team approached to treat Sasuke, but Kakashi stopped them, saying, I'll take responsibility for him. He told Sasuke, we're going to a separate room where I'll seal the curse mark on you. Sasuke protested, but I want to watch the remaining matches. Kakashi insisted, no, this needs to be dealt with immediately before it's too late. Kakashi led Sasuke away, leaving Naruto feeling uneasy about the strange energy coming from Sasuke's neck. He asked Sakura about it, but she remembered Sasuke's request to keep it a secret and said nothing. The second match began between Shino and Zaku, a member of the Sound Ninja. As they stepped forward, Shino said, your arm is already broken. If I fight you now, you'll die easily. easily. You should just withdraw. But Zaku ignored him and launched an attack. Meanwhile, Kakashi and Sasuke were in a distant room prepared with circles and seals drawn on the floor. Kakashi started writing seals on Sasuke's body using blood and said, "This sealing process will be painful. Bear with it as much as you can." He began sealing Orochimaru's curse mark, explaining, "If this curse activates, this seal will suppress it. However, the seal relies on your willpower. If your confidence wavers or your resolve weakens, the curse will take over again." Before Kakashi could finish his explanation, Sasuke passed out from exhaustion. Suddenly, Orochimaru appeared behind Kakashi, saying, "You've grown up, Kakashi. I see you've learned to use sealing techniques. It's been a long time since I last saw you." If you are excited to see the rest of the story, just get down to the comments and show me your enthusiasm. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications to get all the new videos. That's all for this video, and see you next.